Mark Deering here from RE/MAX. We are here with Arayna Rodgers. She's from Chicago Title. And what this video is for is a chance that you are getting close to your closing, and we want to just make you feel comfortable with who's behind the scenes, getting ready to do your closing, and maybe answer a few questions before you even get here. So thanks for joining us, Arayna.
Of course, thank you.
Yes, so tell us a little bit about title insurance. Like, what is title insurance?
Basically, it's just insuring the homeowner and if there's a loan involved, the lender. Mm-hmm. So the title insurance for the homeowner is paid for by the seller. Mm-hmm. It's one time and done. It just ensures that nobody else can come back and say that they have ownership interests or rights to the property. Make sure that any liens or mortgages, outstanding taxes are all paid and taken care of. And then the lender policy, that is paid for by the buyer, and it ensures that the lender gets first lien position so that there's no other mortgages or anything else that's above them on the policy.
Exactly. Yeah. When you're making the biggest purchase of your life, you don't want to later find out that the roofer never got paid 10 years ago.
Exactly.
Or the bank doesn't want to find that there was
right.
Somebody that wasn't paid. So from the time of a closing, it's a clean slate for that property moving forward, basically.
Correct.
Sure. This is probably closing week if they're watching this, and so tell us a few things that's going to happen in closing week. First of all, it's going to be a fun closing week.
That's the exciting part, isn't it?
Yes, you get to see a lot of celebrations and stuff. So.
Yep. And I try to, make sure that not only are we hitting all the highlights, but that it's an enjoyable experience and not too stressful for all parties involved.
Yes.
But the week of the closing, you'll get your final figures. Once you have those final numbers, either as the buyer, then that's when you'll get your funds for closing. We can do funds either via a wire transfer or cashier certified funds made payable to Chicago Title. If you're the seller, you're going to get your final seller statement, and that's going to show you how much your proceeds are going to be.
Sure.
So.
And you're available. They're going to get this closing statement emailed to them. The lender's going to see it and be available for questions and you're available. I'm available.
Exactly.
You've got all of us to kind of go over. It's a somewhat scary 2-page document with a bunch of big numbers on it, and by the time the client sees it, it's already been looked over by the lender.
They've approved those final figures. You and your team have had a chance to look it over. Obviously, I've been the one that created or input those figures, so I know what those figures are as well. So I can answer the questions, easily. If there's something specific as far as like a loan fee or something, that obviously I would refer back to their lender.
Sure.
But the majority of the fees I can answer for them. So
I think a big one that always comes up, and I'm just thinking this as we're shooting this, is the calendar year proration. We don't have to get into super depth about it, but that seems to be one of the big questions.
That's always a sticky point, yes. Prorations are based, obviously, then off a calendar year proration. We pull that information per your purchase agreement.
Sure.
So with a calendar year proration for property taxes or really any other prorations, it divides out to the most equitable positions for each party. So the seller is only responsible for the number of days that they've owned it, and then the buyer is getting a credit towards that same amount for that portion of the taxes.
Sure.
So those numbers are going to change a little bit depending upon the time of the year that we close. After July 1st, those figures kind of move around a little bit with a debit credit, but it's the same theory.
Sure. And there's certain townships and counties that charge in advance, charge in arrears, and it's like that could be a whole, why is it charged this way? But that the calendar year proration is the fairest way, technically.
It's straightforward.
Yeah.
Yep. If you've owned it for 100 days, you're paying for 100 daif
Sure. Yeah, like I say, they just wanted to make sure you could put a face with the name. You're going to see her shortly. If you're a buyer, your certified check needs to be written out to Chicago Title.
Correct.
And you need to bring your driver's license.
Yep, we need to have a valid government issued ID.
Okay.
So it can be a driver's license, it can be a passport. As long as it's from a government entity, Veterans Affairs, as long as it's a government entity and the document is still valid, we will accept it.
Okay. And by the time they get to the closing table, we highly recommend if you have questions, ask them prior to the closing table and we'll get them answered for you. By the time you get to the closing table, you get to pick your location. We got a couple different locations we can close at. You get to pick your time, and our transaction coordinator is going to be helping with that to help you pick which time works. Then we show up at a table like this and
That's
smiles.
when the fun begins.
And then you're either a home purchaser, home seller, whatever that may be. So I guess I always like to close with this. Is there any crazy stories you can think of in title world that's kind of fun? I mean, by the time you're in a different position where you're at the final stage, but is there?
Right. Yep. I get all the fun pieces, everybody's already gone through all the hard stuff to get to me. And so I always say I get the fun piece of it. But, I think one of the coolest things that I have done recently is I closed a transaction on a buyer's birthday. And so it was really funny because the husband's like, well, I don't know if I can ever top this as a birthday present. And I was like, I don't think you can.
That is great. Yeah.
So happy birthday to her.
They're gonna remember that anniversary for the rest of their life.
They're gonna remember when they closed forever.
Sure. Well, thank you, Arayna, for spending some time with us.
My pleasure.
And definitely reach out if you have questions directly to Arayna, to us. You're in great hands. We look forward to getting your closing done for you.
Thank you, Mark.
All right.
Good
Thanks.
to know.
Yes.
Thank you.